Hey everyone, thanks for taking the time to check out my new YouTube channel, Man of Real Estate. I'll just jump right into it here. So who am I and who is the Man of Real Estate? So my name is Mark Bushy. I was born in Moorhead, Minnesota. Moorhead is just across the river from the amazing city of Fargo, North Dakota. Yeah, it's Fargo, like the movie. Yeah, you betcha. But just across the river, across the state line into Minnesota. So you can probably hear the Minnesota. Yep, that's how we talk here. I kind of, as a kid, I moved around a lot, went to a lot of different schools, and had kind of a diverse economic background, I guess you could say. When I was very young, both my parents worked a lot. They worked in bars, restaurants. Mom managed a bar, so she was working a lot of nights. And me and my brother and sister and we got shuffled around a lot to babysitters, and it was kind of an interesting life growing up. We lived in trailer parks and lived in lower class rentals and whatnot. Pretty much dirt poor. As we got a little older, I think I was 8 years old, I think, when my parents had been divorced and my mom got remarried. We got shuffled out to the state of Michigan, where my stepdad was from. He had taken over a restaurant from his parents, and with the restaurant, he ended up getting some franchises associated with that. It was KFC restaurants, Kentucky Fried Chicken, and he had spread out and got like 4 or 5 restaurants, I think, at the end. And we lived a much different lifestyle. So I wouldn't say we were rich, but we were probably middle, upper class, that kind of thing. We had a nice house, and we had decent vehicles, and took trips and that kind of stuff there. Wasn't used to it. That's kind of how we grew up as young kids. But in both lifestyles, my parents worked very hard. But when I was the first time, the younger lifestyle, mom worked all the time, barely made ends meet, working paycheck to paycheck, just enough to pay the rent and put food on the table. With my stepdad, she was working very hard as well in his restaurants and helping open up new franchises and working in the restaurants. They were gone a lot, traveling and such, but they were building, I guess, more true wealth in that way, because they were owning restaurants, owning a business, and they could have managers and employees running them for them, but they worked in the restaurants. And when I was 13 years old, I joined in and worked there too. So I became a cook, working frying chicken in the back of a KFC. Made $2 an hour. It was kind of crazy. So I'm 47 right now. This would be 34 years ago. Minimum wage was only $3.85 an hour at the time. So I remember on my 15th birthday that week, we were opening up a new restaurant up in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. And I worked 85 hours that week. I was helping get the restaurant ready to go. I was helping train in new cooks, that kind of thing. And I was told I was going to get a raise, get up to that $3.85. I thought, oh, I'll be rich. But in the end, I got paid $2 an hour. Whatever. I was a teenager. I was a kid. I was happy just to have some money at the time. Later on, that money actually got spent by my mom. She bought a car for me when I got old enough to drive. First car ever, '79 Impala station wagon, $400, and that was a junker. It was terrible, but it got me around. So now I'm 15. Mom gets divorced again. We end up coming back to Fargo, Moorhead area, and we're kind of back to the same lifestyle we were at before. We're back living in the trailer court. Mom was working, as a bar manager, working nights. We don't see her very often. I'm working in restaurants myself. My brother and sister end up doing the same thing later on. I was in high school, junior and senior in high school, and working at Taco Bell. I was working, when I was a shift manager there, and working till 2, 3 in the morning at night, sometimes closing the restaurant down. And my grades suffered. It wasn't the best, but whatever. We had to do whatever we could to make ends meet. So after high school, I tried a little bit of that college thing. Didn't work out so well. It turns out they want you to actually show up to classes. They want you to do homework, that kind of thing. Wasn't for me. I didn't really know what I wanted to do anyways, so I didn't really have a focus, and I wasn't even sure why I was going to school. I would rather work, so I was working 2 jobs, and I was, had a newer car, and I was spending money and not saving anything, kind of directionless. So kind of went that way for a while. I had random jobs, but I finally got a job that was pretty decent, working for a company where I was the guy that had a delivery route where I went around and delivered like the uniforms, the linens, the rugs, the mops, that kind of thing. But it was mostly physical labor, but it also gave me some sales experience. We did a sales contest there. We had to upsell products. Gave me some managerial experience because we did manage our own routes. We had our own accounts, and we would basically in charge of our own accounts there. collecting money, making sure deliveries were on time and everything was scheduled properly. So great experience. But at this point, I had seen two different lifestyles. I'd seen the very poor, the trailer park, the whole thing. I'd seen the fairly wealthy, the middle upper class, we owned restaurants. It was two different lifestyles, And I was kind of in a rut there, working, 8 to 5 job. It was physical labor. It was very, it was literally, I have back problems right now from that and shoulder problems from carrying all that stuff for years. And at that time I was introduced randomly, I guess maybe not randomly, but I was introduced to the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. If you talk to any real estate investors, there's a very good chance that that book inspired them to get into real estate, which is kind of funny because it's really not a real estate investing book. It is about investing, but it's also about, getting yourself out of the rat race. It's instead of working for someone else, it's working for yourself and starting your own business and building passive income. And so the story goes, if you haven't read the book, is that Robert Kiyosaki grew up in Hawaii. His dad was a superintendent of schools, I think he was. He had a pretty good job, made a good salary. They had a very nice house, the whole thing, but they weren't what he considered rich or wealthy because the money was spent as fast as they made it, and his dad was totally reliant on the government to provide his job for him. Well, one of his best friends, his dad was a real estate developer in Hawaii. He owned hotels and commercial businesses, that kind of thing. And so Robert got to grow up around his friend's dad as well, and he got to learn, about real estate and entrepreneurship and building passive income. So that was his rich dad. So he got to see both sides of the coin, kind of like I did as a kid too. So I read the book, got some inspiration from that. This was right about the time. This was 2008, I suppose. The real estate bubble was happening and it was about to burst, but I wanted to get into real estate. I wanted to flip houses or buy rentals or whatever. I had 3 weeks vacation plan from my job that I had there. I took the weeks off and took real estate courses down in Minneapolis, got my real estate license, and in May of 2009, walked into my boss's office and gave him my 2 weeks notice. I never looked back. So I was in a situation at that time where I had a pretty modest lifestyle and I could afford to give it a go and try to sell real estate and see if I could make it work. One of my best friends, he is a contractor, and he had been talking to me about buying rental properties. And so I said, hey, let's do this. Let's go find something. So the same year I got my license. Later that year, we ended up buying our first fourplex and never looked back. So we've since then added a number of properties to our portfolio, added another partner. I've found other partnerships throughout that time. We own houses. We own some small multifamily. In the last few years, we've gotten into self-storage facilities. I love those. They're great because they don't have tenants per se. They don't have the pets and toilets and people destroying the houses. The worst thing you get is maybe someone bumps into the building or they leave some garbage behind. You haul it out and you sweep out the garage. It's pretty easy. So what am I doing now? So I'm still in real estate, selling real estate. We have a number of investment properties now. So I started off in home sales with a local company here called Property Resources Group. And very quickly, the home sales department, it didn't stick around very long. They were more of a commercial real estate brokerage. They do a lot of land development, construction, that sort of thing. And so I got an opportunity to work with them for 7 years where I basically sold residential land. So they developed a number of areas in Fargo Moorhead here. Osgood Golf Course being one of the premier developments they had, and then just grew from there. So my job was basically to get these marketing maps, go out, help them price the lots out, take them out to the builders in town here, meet their sales staff, meet the builders, and sell lots to the builders. And so great job I had for a while, very lucrative. I made a lot of good connections, a lot of good friends. I got to stay on top of the pulse of what was happening in Fargo Moorhead, West Fargo, where the city was growing. All this was, what was happening with, new construction, permits, that kind of thing. Great experience. So about almost 6 years ago, let's say I got downsized, I guess, good way to say it. But anyways, I got back into residential home sales here, and then also with that started working with investors, trying to find properties for investors, selling investment properties, as well as continuing to buy my own properties. Currently, I'm with a brokerage called JK Property Partners. Great, amazing small brokerage here in Fargo. John Nasala, he's the JK. He started this team. We actually started in real estate almost the same week, 13 years ago. almost 13 years ago to the day right now. And so he also does some real estate investing, and he really sees my vision, my focus, is to sell real estate, but also to invest. So he fully supports what I do. It's been amazing being part of this office here, and just continuing to do what I do here and never really looking back. So who is the man of real estate? Well, and why am I here? So let's start with this. So got these shirts made up recently, man of real estate. You may recognize sort of the logo. When I was a kid, about 8 years old, I watched the Superman movie, and I watched it over and over and over. I think it came out in 1978. I never got to see it in theaters, but we had one of these, if you're old enough to remember this, we had one of these old Laserdisc players. And they had these discs that were about the size of a record and looked like a big giant CD. And so we could rent these laser discs from the local furniture store in town. It was kind of weird because they had furniture all over, and then one wall was just a wall of laser discs you rent. Well, we only owned two movies, two discs. One of them was Superman the movie. The other one was Jane Fonda's Workout, something my mom had, I guess. And I was only 8, so I didn't know that maybe I should have been watching Jane Fonda's Workout. I don't know. But I was enamored with Superman. I thought, this is like the superhero. This is before we had Avengers and X-Men and all these other superhero movies we see nowadays. So, this was the man who was, could leap tall buildings in a single bound and stronger than a locomotive, faster than a speeding bullet, So he stood for truth, justice, the American way. And so I saw this superhero, and I watched this movie over and over and over. I memorized it. I could say it word for word. And so I always remember, Superman is like, he was the hero. He was the ultimate guy, So fast forward to now, so I get into real estate. The job I had as a delivery driver at that route, it was physical work, and it kept me pretty trim and slim, kept me in shape. But when I became a realtor, I packed it on. I packed on about 50, 60 pounds. You're sitting in a cubicle all day, or you're driving in your car. You're grabbing fast snacks, food, wherever you can get it. You got realtor events, open houses. You're going to all these different things, and they're always serving whatever food is available, or you're going out to dinners with people, and it's just, eating crappy food, drinking alcohol, it's whatever. And so I put on the weight pretty quickly. But the place I worked at, they actually started a program for all the employees and all the realtors there that basically we got free gym memberships and free trainers 3 times a week. And I took advantage of that right away. I could see I was getting big. I got a picture of myself. I was at a friend's backyard luau party, and I'm wearing this, Hawaiian shirt, and I got these coconut bra thing I'm wearing here, and I'm kind of slouched back laying in this chair, and I was big. That's when I was about the heaviest I've been. I call myself, back in those days, I call myself fat bushy, looking back at those pictures. There's been several times in the past where I've been fat bushy. I've gained some weight, taken it off. I've always kind of struggled with, keeping myself trim. But with that, so I started thinking this idea of Superman, like when I go to the gym, it's powerful figure. He's strong, he's fast, he's amazing, whatever. And so when I started going to the gym with the trainers, I really got into weightlifting. I started doing some physical challenges for myself. I started doing some half marathons, obstacle courses. I did a triathlon here a couple years ago. And I just think of myself as like, this is the guy, like I can be like Superman. So when I go to the gym, if you see me at the gym, we're lifting weights, I'm probably wearing a Superman tank top. I wear the Superman shirts around just randomly, just throughout the days, through the weeks here. So he's been my hero for a long time here. And so when the new Man of Steel movie came out, the actor who plays Superman, Henry Cavill, Cavill, not sure how you pronounce that. Anyways, I saw an interview with him, and someone asked him, they said, what motivates you? Like, why are you working so hard at the gym? Why are you eating right? Why are you're not skipping days in the gym? You're working 2 workouts a day. What motivates you so much? And he basically said, I'm Superman. He said, I can't let people down. I'm playing this hero. I have to represent this hero, and Superman is, strong and powerful, and that's who I have to be. So I can't show up there on screen and not look the part of Superman. So, and he said he wants to also inspire other people, showing that, hey, I'm just this guy, but I can go do these things too. I can transform my body. I can become healthy. I can become, this big Superman muscle guy, So, and I kind of see myself in that way sometimes too. So I do this for myself as far as the workouts and the fitness to stay healthy. I don't want to be on medication. I want to live a long life, be there for my family, whatnot. But I also don't mind the idea that maybe it inspires other people. So if someone sees what I'm doing for my challenges, or what kind of workouts I'm doing, or what is your diet like, I hope people would ask me questions about it. What are you doing to make yourself healthy? You know, you're looking good. I get someone, like, I love, you know, it's a good feeling to have someone say like, oh, you're looking great. You've taken off a few pounds. Great. What are you doing? How do you do it? I'll talk to you about that all day. I love to discuss that. I love to hopefully inspire some people, even if it's only one person. I'll post some stuff on social media about what it is I'm doing at the time. Just hopefully, it's not to brag, it's nothing like that. It's more that somebody sees it, gets inspired by what I do. So, and I kind of thought about that more so, and thought, why am I limiting that to just my fitness and my health? You know, I'm not a superhero by any means, but I've hopefully done a few things right in my life, and I have, you know, with the real estate investing, I own a number of properties. I'm on my way to having the financial freedom I want here. Why can't I inspire people in that way as well? And so I want people to ask me questions about, you know, how you're investing, what are you investing in, how does that work for you? Can you lead me along the right path? Can you help me out? Can you educate me? So some of the stuff I want to do is going to lead towards some education in real estate investing as well. I do this for myself. I do it to gain financial freedom, to build legacy wealth for my family, for my daughter. But I want to be an example for other people. I want people to see what I'm doing and hopefully take that and run with it. Maybe I'll partner up with some people. Who knows? Maybe I can help finance some deals and get people started in real estate investing. There's so many different options I can go, you know, with that to help other people as well. So what can you expect to see on this channel, Living Large in Fargo? So first off, I want to do some posts here, some videos about, you know, the health and fitness things I'm part of, but also on motivation and mindset. I'll post some things about some of the challenges I'm doing. Like right now I'm doing what's called the 75 Hard Challenge. Some of you who see me on Facebook and such have seen some of my posts. I want to talk more about that, what I'm doing and why I'm doing that. Talk about the mastermind groups that I'm part of and how that benefits me and different things I'm part of like that. But in addition to that, remember, I am a realtor. I sell real estate. So I'm going to be talking a lot about Fargo, in the city I love here, the city I grew up in. And a few things with that. I plan to do what's called, I'm going to call it a spotlight feature. And so what I want to do is talk about local businesses, new restaurants and bars opening up, new businesses, local events happening, you know, concerts or sporting events or things, you know, like Rib Fest or whatever's going on in Fargo that people might enjoy. If you're new to Fargo or moving to this area, you're going to want to know what's happening. Why would you want to live in Fargo? You know, if you live in Fargo now and maybe aren't aware of these events, great place to get some updates. So I'll be doing some, you know, some live spots and some recordings, some videos at some of these places. I'll interview some business owners just to get the word out of what's going on in Fargo. We'll talk about things like new land developments, where the city is growing, updates on the flood and the flooding and the diversion, things like that. We have elections coming up for city council, for school board. How will that affect you and your communities? So we'll do updates like that as well. And then once a week, I'd also want to do a market update on the real estate market here. So what I'll do is just talk about, you know, where the prices are going on housing, what the interest rates look like, new listings, you know, as far as how many new listings do we have, how many sales are happening. Just give you an idea, make this a quick 1 or 2 minutes, you know, updates here. Don't want to bore you with numbers, but people are interested in what's going on in the market. As a realtor, when people meet me, first question I always get, how's the market? Well, let me tell you, I'll do some videos and you can find out. Along with that, as a realtor, I'll be posting some helpful tips on buying and selling houses. We'll go through things like, what is a home inspection? What kind of things are we looking for? You know, what do you do when you're listing a house and you're trying to buy a house at the same time? It gets rather complicated, or it can. So I do a buyer consult, I call it. It's about a 45-minute to an hour consult where I meet a new buyer, first-time home buyer. And we talk about the steps of buying a home. We talk about, you know, we go through a page where we look at your wants and needs and we get you on a search to find a property. So I will probably record that buyer consult if I can't meet you in person or you're maybe live out of town, whatever, give you a chance to watch it through a video there. So same with the listing consult. We can get that, I'll get that recorded and get that out there so you can kind of, you know, be prepared. I've talked to so many, especially first-time home buyers, who are very anxious about the process. They're afraid of what this looks like, what the costs are going to be. After that buyer consult, I get so many people that they're like so grateful. They're like, thank you for taking our fears away, explaining it so easily, so simple. They know that I'm going to be there basically holding their hand throughout the process, helping them find the house and negotiate all the process throughout there. So it's just a way to alleviate some fears when you're looking to buy your first house or maybe selling a house for the first time as well. So people are much more confident after that meeting. And hey, honestly, I'm the man of real estate. I'm here to help, right? I mean, so yeah. So along with this, I'm also going to have a separate channel. It's going to be Man of Real Estate Investing. On that channel, I'm going to do some different things. It's going to be real estate related, but it's going to be specifically on investing. So we're going to look at things like how do you finance properties? How do you find properties? How do you analyze deals? The different types of properties to invest in, anything you can think of. We're going to have some local celebrities on here. I got some investors that I work with and that I know in Fargo Moorhead who are, we'll call them some big players, and maybe we'll get some new people on here too to get perspective from new investors. So we'll do some interviews, that kind of thing. And I really want to use this as an education platform. And maybe down the road we can do some partnerships together, work on some deals together. I had this crazy idea of something called, you guys heard of Shark Tank? So I'm looking at maybe Mark Tank, you come to me with an investment opportunity for real estate and, need some capital or need some partners. I can help you make it work out. That's an idea I just came up with here a little bit ago, but who knows, that might be a thing. So that's going to be just getting everyone educated on real estate and not only how to buy it and how to find it, but why do you want real estate? What are the benefits of owning real estate? The tax benefits, the wealth accumulation, that kind of thing there. So that's my biggest passion, really. I want to focus more on the investment real estate at some point. And one of the, I consider a big purpose of my life is to help other people to also get this financial freedom, to build this legacy wealth. And if we can all do it together and benefit each other, why not? I mean, it's a win-win for everybody. Make it work, make it happen. It's going to be a learning experience for everybody, including myself. Honestly, I'm really new to this whole YouTube thing. Not new to YouTube, new to having my own channel, creating video content, and posting here. So excuse me if the video quality or the production quality is not the best yet. I'm working on some equipment and whatnot, but yeah, we can learn together here. If you are interested in getting more of this content here, please go ahead and like this video, hit the subscription button, and hit that little bell, turn on notifications if you want to get more updates from me. Also, if you're interested in the investing side, go to my other channel here. It's Man of Real Estate Invest, and do the same thing there. Subscribe there, and you can get some updates from me on there as well. If you have any questions for me, comments, go to the comments below there, and I'd love to, you can reach out to me. I'll put my contact info in the comments as well. You ever want to, if you're local here, want to talk real estate, I'm always up for that. Give me a call. If you're looking to buy, sell, invest, anything, I'm open to that. So if you want to learn more about what I'm doing health-wise, diet-wise, the whole thing, I'm open to all of it. So feel free to reach out to me. Glad to help, glad to talk to people. So until next time, hoping to be able to chat with you more in my next videos.